There you are.
Evening, and we're back again. So, first things first, the frame. Take the frame away and dropped it off at a mate of mine's. It's called Rick's, or Rick's Shot Blasting. It's in Berkeley. And he's done an absolute sterling job on it. Stripped it down there and we've put a coat of etch primer on, and it looks brilliant. A little bit of pitting here and there, but nothing too sinister. So the next step for the frame is paint. I don't do painting because I'm crap at it. That's actually going to get done by some students at a college, mate of mine called Keith. He works there. Hello Keith. And he's going to get some of his top lads and lasses, don't forget the lasses. He's going to get them on with it. I've seen some of the work they've done and frankly it's brilliant. It's better than anything I can do anyway. So the next step for us in here is we're going to strip the forks down. So I have, supplied by All Balls Racing, a rebuild kit for the forks, but obviously we're going to strip them down, get them painted, and rebuild them obviously with new bushings, seals, so on and so forth. So pretty much today's video is going to be me forking around with the forks, so enjoy. See you in a bit. While I'm here, I forgot to mention colour schemes. So I haven't actually decided on the final colour scheme as of yet, hence why we're not doing anything with plastics or out like that. Now the forks are going to be black, as 90% of them were black. The frame is obviously going to be silver. Now I did get a colour match for the frame, and it was a bit of a bizarre Honda silver thing, but found something which is not a kick in the arse off, which is actually Ford Moondust silver. So that's the colour we're going to go, and you won't really tell unless you're a proper purist, and no doubt you'll give me a load of grief for it, but hey ho. So yeah, that was that. I forgot that bit. So yeah, on with the forks.
So you can see we've got the forks on the bench now. So we've still got the yoke attached. So what we're going to do now is remove the forks from the yoke, or remove the yokes from the fork, depending which way you prefer. So pretty easy. Undo these pinch bolts, give them a lube up first, and whip them out. So let's go. There's one. Move that slightly. There we go. Can't even see it. That's number 2. So now you see the pinch bolt's loose, and the fork will just slip out there. There we go, there's one out. And now for the other one. Straight out. So, done that. Right. Now if we look at the yoke, as you can see the bottom headstock bearing here, so I am replacing these anyway, but the threads on the top there you can see are a little bit mangled. Now I'm going to see if I can get these recut, either that or just replace the whole yoke, but I'm hoping to repair the threads, like I say, or recut them. So there we go, there's the forks off. Right, now we've got left hand fork and right hand fork obviously, and there's a subtle difference between the two. One of them has this, which is an anti-dive valve in it. So obviously we're going to be stripping this down, replacing seals and the likes while we're on. But we're going to start with the easy fork. So we'll get rid of that one. We'll do this one for now. Right then, so there we have the fork, on the top of the fork, as you can see. So obviously this is the bit here where the handlebar or clip-on would sit. So then we're going to take this little plastic tit off the end, like that, and then exposes that. It looks a bit like a tyre valve, because basically it is. Now, I've got a screwdriver here, and I've also got safety glasses on. So all I'm going to do is press the valve in the centre there, just to release any air pressure. Oh, there's not a great deal in there. So there we go. So I've got the fork in the vise now, and I've just got a bit of sponge in here just to hold the stanchion, just so I don't damage it. Now what we're going to do is remove the cap out of the end of here. Now I'm not going to record this bit because I do need two hands and I'll probably lose an eye again. You can see I've got it cracked now, you can see the top seal there. So obviously we'll continue to take this out, and there is a big muckle spring inside of here which will probably go through my roof. So the cap's out, so now we're going to remove the seat, and then obviously we'll be able to get the spring and the remainder of the fork oil out. So now I have a suitable container. It's a screen wash bottle I've cut the side out of. So what we're going to do is tip the fork up, and out comes some blue stuff and a spacer, and there's a spring. So we'll remove the fork spring. There we go, and drain the rest of that out. Now you're left with a tube that makes interesting noises. And so now we're going to want the dust seal out of here. So again there I've just got my trusty screwdriver. So I'll just pop it down the side there. Obviously careful not to scruggy your fingers doing this, when it all goes horribly wrong like that. There we go. There's the dust seal out. And now we're going to need some circlip pliers. You can see there I've now got the snap ring out, just using the pliers. Right then, so now I need to take the little bolt out the bottom. So 6mm Allen key on a 1/4 drive, little breaker bar there. I'll just crack that off. There we go. And that should wind out quite nicely. There we have the bolt out the bottom. So now we can extend this up to the end like that. You can see we're up there, and we're going to have to give it a little persuasive tap with a hammer just to get that bushing out. Right then. So we've got that out there, so you can see the upper oil seal as well. Now we've got the bushing, which is very tired, and obviously we've got all this other shite attached to it as well, so we'll give this all a clean up. So that's the fork completely stripped down. So you can see we've got obviously the dust seal, oil seal, obviously the washer, stopper ring, bushings, snap ring. Now if we look at the fork, you can see on the inside of here, so there's the lovely Hammerite red somebody painted it at some point, and there's the original powder coated black. So obviously we are going to be putting them back to black, so we're going to get this blasted and get it back to bare metal, and then we'll be giving it a paint. Now obviously the actual stanchion is in overall good condition, next to no corrosion. There's a few little tiny bits, but they should clean up no bother. There is no pitting or scores or anything like that, so that's good. Now we'll strip the other fork down. So we're now onto the left hand fork. Now it's exactly the same process to strip it. There is just a few differences on this side. First off is the addition of this needle roller bearing here. So we are going to replace that, but we'll have to press that out using the press. And the other thing is this. So the needle roller bearing and this little valve here are all part of the anti-dive that's fitted to the front of these CBR jellymoulds, as they're known. So pretty easy to strip it out. All we're going to do is remove these 4 little bolts in there, and obviously we'll take the piston and everything out with it, and we'll inspect it to make sure it's in overall good condition. Right, so obviously we've got the other fork stripped down now. Obviously I wasn't going to bore you by video on that process because you've just seen us do it. So again, obviously we've got the bushings, the bolts, snap rings, stuff like that. So obviously next we'll do the anti-dive. You can see as well it is a horrifically oily and messy job, as the dude just vomit oil everywhere. Right then, so we'll take the anti-dive off now, or the anti-dive casing. So it's just got 4 2mm Allen head bolts in. Take all 4 of them out. Bit of Bruce Springsteen for you there. doing this. Sorry, there's not much commentary going on here. There's not really a lot I can talk to you about. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, if you're interested. Right, so we've got one left there. Take that out, and then off pops the anti-dive. So you can see here we've got a little spring, a boot, a little rubber seal, and it all just sits on the fork there. It's quite a clever bit of kit really, it just acts as a sort of damping valve. So there we go, so we'll give this a clean up. We'll replace these seals as well, I think. So again there you can see on this fork the original black and the horrific hammerite red that somebody's painted it with. It wasn't me, it really wasn't. So, but there we go, there's the fork stripped down. Obviously we do need to press this little needle bearing out as well, but we'll do that on the shop press. And I think that'll probably do it for today. I've bored you to tears, haven't I? Right then, so a few quick checks we need to do just before we do actually finish for the day is what we need to do. We need to measure these springs, the fork springs, to the free length. So we'll start with one of them. So we have a trusty tape measure. Now the service limit on these is 389.3 millimeters, or if you work in old money, 15.33 inches. I'll work in both because I'm a bit weird. So I'll just load the tape measure on there. I can see there that is actually 395 millimeters. So that needs replaced. And the other one, go on, place your bet. What's a bet it's out as well? It's about 395 as well. So we're going to have to replace both of those springs as they don't fall within the required limit. And another thing we need to do is just measure the run out on the spacers here. To do that, basically you set this in a set of V blocks, sort of like that, and have a DTI gauge and just run it around like that. Now I don't have my V blocks here with us, they're actually at work because I've been using them to do a cylinder head repair on a van. So what we'll do, I'll take those to work with us and we'll measure it there. I might video it, I might not. Not very exciting using the DTI gauge, but there you go. And there you go, so that's it. Right, I'll go shopping. See you later. Today's episode of Forking About. The bottom parts of the forks, obviously we'll get those into ricks, get them blasted, etch primed, and we're going to paint them gloss black. Like I said earlier, most of them were gloss black and I think it looks quite good no matter what colour scheme I choose. I'll put a couple of colour schemes up I have been thinking about. One of them I shouldn't like, but I do, but I'm not going to do that because I mean I'm going to have to change the seat as well. It's the turquoise one. Yeah, I'm weird. Obviously fork springs, we'll source some more of them and I'll test the sleeves when I get back into the workshop at work. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, the centre stand scenario on the frame. As you see in the frame there, it's turned out quite well, and you'll notice that the centre stand isn't on it. That's because we got it off. Ended up having to get a bit of warmaline on it, so we started with a small gas axe, then went to a big gas axe and a big mel, still wouldn't move. Got it in a press, about 15 ton of pressure, actually got the sleeve to start to move. Got so far, then it got stuck, so then we employed a grinder. Chopped it out, managed to press the rest out, and I've since found out, after I've ruined it, that the pivot pin is actually an obsolete part, and like rocky horse shit to get a hold of. So I'm sniffing about for one of them. If anybody knows where I'll find one, please do tell us. Failing that, I'm going to get Keith, who is a man of many talents, and he has a lathe, and I'm jealous. He might be able to make us one, so we'll see how that goes. I'm also going to need to find somewhere that will do us some stickers. I'll put a couple of pictures up of the stickers I'll need made. If anybody knows where I would get them done, please do tell us.
And then that's pretty much it. Yeah, so I'll keep you updated with the frame, and I'll put another episode up because we're probably going to strip the wheels next, get the bearings out, and we'll get those blasted as well. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. Cheers.